But here at Apex Oval in Dubbo, it's going to be Canterbury and Canberra up first tonight. And there's a big crowd expected here. Dubbo, a city of over 34,000, and a city that is placed beautifully on the western plains of New South Wales, where the weather on our trip right throughout the Lotto Challenge has been absolutely outstanding. Earlier in the week here, it was around 37, 36 degrees, but it has cooled down tonight. A little bit of a change has hit the western districts of New South Wales and cooled things down for the players. Of course, the Western Plains Zoo is the big attraction here in Dubbo. The Tigers, well, they're not here tonight. They're knocked out, although we do have one of the former Tigers with us in Wayne Pearce. But first up, it is Bill Anderson. Good evening to you. And the Canterbury side, I guess you could talk about this quarter-final. Enthusiasm up against experience. Enthusiasm, though, does earn a lot in rugby league.
It sure does, Graham. Good evening, everyone. They'll be keen, make no doubt about that. But as well as being keen, they're also going to have very good backline defence. Brown and Patmore are vital. They've got to keep putting it to Meninga. Now, their full team is McGrady, Robinson, Brown and Patmore. They're the keys. Doolan, Polomountia. He's the young Australian schoolboy rugby union centre. Moore, Gillies, Maguire, Smith, Tronk, Steve Folkes. His second game back with Canterbury. Mitch Newton and the coach, Chris Anderson.
Yeah, Chris Anderson will have noted the form already shown by the Raiders and some sharp form in their first look at 1991. And Wayne Pearce, good evening to you. I guess they've just picked up where they left off last year.
They certainly are. Canberra have a habit of starting strongly and finishing stronger, and that's exactly what they did against Cronulla. That last quarter, when the Cronulla side started to tire, they ran riot. They've got a very strong side again tonight. New fullback in place of Gary Belcher is Paul Beath. The rest of the side is Martin, Mal Meninga's captain, and in the centres, Boyle, Wood, Daly, Gale, Barnhill, Coyne, Gaffey, Corvo, Walters and Todd, and the coach is Tim Sheens.
Timmy Sheens, who is hoping that Canterbury won't be out to cause an upset here in this quarter-final. Now, on behalf of all the 10 Sports crew, we've been travelling for nearly a fortnight and we've missed some special occasions at home, we know. On behalf of all the crew, a big love and best wishes to all our families back at home. And another big occasion tonight too, a birthday for my daughter Natasha. Darling, happy birthday. You do get to stay up late tonight because your beloved Bulldogs are about to do action against the Raiders. We'll bring you all that first quarter action right after this break. Welcome back to the Apex Oval. The team's already out on the field. And the Canberra Raiders back to their normal strip for this match. Meninga looking for a big game against some young men in Darren Brown and Andrew Patmore. And it's quarter-final time, $35,000 to our loser between the Bulldogs and the Raiders. $70,000 awaits a semi-final spot. Referee is Eddie Ward. And the Raiders will have a slight breeze at their back. Canterbury electing to run into it. Daly back on deck for the Raiders. His value to the Raiders will soon be known. They got home without him at Port Macquarie. But this Canterbury side showed so much enthusiasm in that shock win over Manly. Newton. Folkes a dummy half. What a comeback match for him. Almost like he hadn't walked away from the Sydney or the Australian rugby league scene. Penalty goes against Canterbury and Bruce Maguire. I think they've got him for a little trip, as some of the Raiders' defence was trying to get down on the kicker.
You'll see it in the Lotto replay, Graham. What Maguire did, he walked off the mark. He interfered there by tripping the marker that was trying to get out to harass the kicker.
Matt Wood is screaming out for a ball boy with some sand.
Interesting this, isn't it? You've got a player like Mal Meninga with all his experience and a pretty good record as a goal kicker, so this fellow must be able to hit them all right.
Wood. Now Wood will have this from about 41 metres out. And this Apex Oval is quite a little amphitheatre here. Holds just over 20,000. And a crowd in of around 10 or 11. Wood strikes it beautifully. Well, they showed their confidence in Wood to go to him, and he answered the call. The Raiders 2, Canterbury 0. The Bulldogs back after that error from Maguire.
That shows us Tim Sheens knows his players pretty well there. Wood hit that one and it never looked like missing.
And without emotion on the sideline, but he knows his side have got the solid start with first points on the board. Settle them down. The Raiders to bring it back. And Steve Walters gets it away to Gaffey. Todd. Steve Walters. Steve Walters with one of those great runs of his from dummy half, gets it back out near halfway. And the Raiders a quick play the ball. Gale, the kick. And from the kick-off, the Raiders have done it all perfectly. They just worked it back out near halfway, gave some time for their kickers. They got on a roll, and now it's back inside the 22 of Canterbury. And what talent there is in that back row. Glenn Lazarus, Bradley Clyde enjoying a joke with someone, and Ricky Stewart sitting alongside. Polamaunta loses it. So the Bulldogs making plenty of mistakes in the opening minutes.
What our replay shows a man that played so well at Lismore here. He did pull through that first tackle, but Barnhill came over the top and shook the ball out.
Daly with a bit of room to move here. Polamaunta with a difficult task to stay on him tonight. Now the Raiders cough it up. McGrady, an exciting machine at fullback. He really did light up all the action in Lismore. 4 minutes gone in this first quarter. Maguire brings it up for Canterbury. Folks finds Gillies playing with a thumb and hand strap. He injured that in the match against Manly. Brown kicking low down to Beef. Beef taken by Polamaunta. Wood taken by Folks and Tronk. Very quick play of the balls, Wayne, early.
Yes, they are, and that's the thing that Canterbury will have to watch out for. Canberra get a roll on over the play of the ball, and when they do, that's when they open up for their backs.
Wayne, I suppose very much when you're inexperienced and playing a team like Canberra, you can become intimidated.
It's quite simple when you're playing against the big names, the likes of the Mal Meningas, the Laurie Dailies. But I think enthusiasm can overcome a lot of things, and if they pressure this Canberra side, they're in with the chance.
Here's one man that can produce it, McGrady. McGrady from the back, McGrady. Finds a hole, Meningas there. He gets inside him. And McGrady brings it back into the Raiders' territory.
Shades of Gary Belcher.
Patmore. And McGrady does it again. Newton. He says he likes the halfback spot. He's making a real fist of the number one.
He's got a couple of brothers. Canterbury may be interested.
Polamaunta. Kevin Moore calling for runners on his right. Darren Smith is there. Came loose. And the Raiders have it right on their own 22. Barnhill.
It came loose because it was a poor pass. Smith tried to get that one away, but he was under all sorts of pressure. They're the times you've got to learn just to lock up.
Todd. He locks it up. Just settles it for the Raiders. A little bit of pressure on them at the 22, but they can bust from here. Out to Paul Martin. And they've exploded away, the Raiders. Gale's trying to get there to link up with Martin, but the Canterbury defence is back there. They will need to regroup very quickly. Daly looking for runners. Gale, look at the support here from Canberra. Gaffey. There was men left over here on the left, but he couldn't get it wide. Last tackle. Daly up the middle, basketballs it to Gale. Gale tried to flick it out the back, but Eddie Ward was quick to call the handover. You want to talk about counter-attack and how well they can do it. But now it's Canterbury trying their hand at the same thing. Colomata back on the infield. Put down very easily by Doolan. The Bulldogs putting themselves under a lot of pressure. Gale.
You can't play that brand of football against Canberra. You make mistakes down in your own quarter and you'll be punished.
Well, Wood punished them once. And Wood will probably punish them again because Tronk climbed all over Gale as he was trying to get up and play it. From Brisbane down to Canterbury. But offside he is here with Eddie Ward. Exciting season ahead for all of us. Lotto Challenge has shown some tremendous quality for so early in the year. The Winfield Cup just around the corner. Nissan Friday Night Football. And the MMI big game, you'll see it all on 10 Sport. Matt Wood. .38 metres out. His first one was a great kick. This one was something you'd expect at Wembley at an FA Cup final, right along the ground. It is still 2-0, the Raiders over the Bulldogs. Bruce McGuire gets into a hole. McGuire running strongly, taken by Meninga.
That's the same place that Canterbury have caught them out on 3 occasions now. Canberra's right-hand defence.
Meninga penalised.
They didn't do much here, did they? The spaces were simply there. They opened up. Bruce McGuire finds the space. They're falling down there somewhere, Graham. Someone's missing their job.
Just in the corner there, it looked like Steve Walters might have gone up too quickly, leaving a spot outside. Doolan fumbles that one. He hasn't been good with his hands early. McGuire wants another run. McGuire was supported by Gillies. Tronk, he's running with support. Back on the infield is Darren Smith. Wrapped up and pushed away from the 22. Darren Brown. McGrady up in the line. Taken, though, and wrapped up quickly. 10 minutes gone. Tronk. Tronk back infield for Gillies. Last tackle. Kevin Moore. The kick, trying to get it back on the angle to the in goal. But Daly had dropped back there to support Beath. Yaffe. Yaffe's taken by folks, and as they bring it out, Johnny Croucher. What about this footy tap pool tonight?
Well, Graham, we've got the biggest dividend pool so far of the challenge with $24,000 to be won in this game. Most punters think it's a lay-down misère. 80% have gone for Canberra to win, only 20% for the poor old Bulldogs. In fact, most entries think Canberra are going to win this fairly easily. The computer tends to agree a little bit, Graham. Canberra 22-26, Canterbury 10-14.
So the punters discounting the Bulldogs' form at Lismore. McGrady. Back for Robinson. And a good tackle from Daly. McGrady takes on the forwards and goes nowhere. Pass looked forward to Brown. Newton. Kevin Moore. Tronk. Not a good kick. Straight down to Beath. Stepping. Trying to get away from the forwards. He was chased by Gillies. Barnhill. 8.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Gillies looked to be way offside, but he was just chasing a lost boot. He's back in Canberra territory.
Have a look at how these Canberra forwards do the work and set up the platform for their backs. They get good field position and then give their backs space to work in.
Smith did well to shepherd that ball for McGrady. The game is being played at quite a pace. Brown changed direction there. That was really a difficult one. He put a bit of pressure on the man passing the ball then. Kevin Moore with a dummy. Not taken by Todd. Newton. Newton loses it. A number of times that Canterbury have done that in the first quarter inside their own half. Daly gets it to Meninga, who busts one, then two.
There's nothing Laurie Daly can't do. He is without peer in modern 5/8 play.
Gale. Todd. 7 minutes for the Bulldogs to hold the Raiders out. And only a couple of tackles. Steve Walters taps it. Goes ahead, look at this gap. Right up the middle. And he gets 9 metres away. Pushed back and loses it. And Canterbury bring it away. 2-0 the scoreline. Six and a half minutes left. Trump. Brown.
See, Canterbury were looking to offload then. Some of the things they're trying to do in their own quarter aren't necessary. They're pushing passes, trying to make breaks, but what they'd be better to do is just get field position, get the ball down the other end, and then look for their offloads.
Now here's the kick from Brown, touched by the Raiders, but it goes straight down to Beath. Beath running well, but taken nicely by Brown. Daly. Barnhill. Trying to hold them down. A little bit longer in the tackles. Todd.
And now the forwards take over. This is real methodical stuff.
Switch of play to Coyne. Running with support. Corbo plays it right on halfway. Gale. Daly. Infield. Meninga. He creates the space. Now Beath is there. Meninga trying to position himself. He's taken by McGrady. He looked for Meninga inside, who was tackled without it by Bruce Maguire. And the penalty to the Raiders here just inside the 22. They lead 2-0. And there's good crowd here at Dubbo. Looking on to the defending champs, the Raiders, who have got all the attack. Just inside the 22 line. And he gets the Raiders 2 more points. Canberra stretch it a little. And they lead 4-0. 4-0 to the Raiders as the Bulldogs come back to halfway for the restart. I guess it's a little bit unique for you, Wayne, to see Bruce Maguire in blue and white.
I'd much rather see him in the black and gold because he's a very good player. He's a big loss for the Balmain Tigers this year with his work rate and his ability to step and work his way through the defence and attack.
So Maguire in the 12 for Canterbury. His experience needed against this big pack from Canberra.
Sorry, Dave.
Gaffey. Gale. He just got the kick in. Now Gale is down. But no touch judge in on the scene. He's back on his feet now. Robinson. Gillies. Tronk. The Canterbury forwards try and do their own taking over, and they do it well to get back to halfway. Maguire continues to roll on.
That's a good passage, and what they need a little bit more of. Now, to build on that, they can get a bit of support on the edge of the ruck for the runners.
Brown for McGrady. Through a dummy, McGrady. He flicked it, but straight into the arms of Matt Wood. But he can certainly create something when he joins that front line.
I wouldn't be going too crook as a coach here. He was going to get pushed into touch. It was late in the tackle count, and there were runners back in the middle.
Inside the last 2 minutes of this first quarter. Todd. That's the 40-metre line. Yappy. Last tackle for Canberra. Gale spreads it. Daly keen to spread it. And Beef joins in. They're going to be caught. So the defence was certainly up to the task. They read that they wanted to stretch it. Patmore. Patmore taken by Gale. And pushed back. A little over 60 seconds for Canterbury to get themselves on the board in this first quarter at 4-0 to the Raiders. Kevin Moore, Tronk, on the end of it, Gillies. Moore, Brown, kicks, regathered by Tronk.
If they're looking at the clock, they'll be thinking about putting up a bomb.
Doolan will have it with one tackle remaining. Kevin Moore for the kick. No, they go on a blindside through Brown. He looked infield for McGrady. Now Doolan. Doolan gets it back for Gillies. Gillies over the line. Did he get it down? No. Well, on the last, they tried their hand at the Raiders and they nearly got there. Gillies couldn't get it down. Great defence from Canberra.
He couldn't get it down, but he was oh so close. I think we've got to congratulate the defence here. He was over the line, Graham. Look at that.
A real scare from Simon Gillies and the Bulldogs at the death of this first quarter. But through 2 goals, it's Canberra 4, Canterbury 0. What a beautiful sunset as we welcome you back to Dubbo for this quarter-final. And as the sun goes down, the moon starts to shine brightly here over the Apex Oval and gets a look in here at this quarter-final between Canterbury and the Raiders. Sensational night. We really have been blessed with magnificent weather right throughout the Lotto Challenge. The Raiders just in front 4-0 as we start the second quarter. And as much as we've had the great weather, the players, Bill, thankfully haven't really had to contend with too much heat. There's always been that nice cool down at the end of the day.
They'd be pleased with that. It is tough to play under very hot conditions, and you can't show your best. And when you come to the country centres, you want to put on a display for the people, and they've all got to be happy with what they've seen. The standard of football so early in the year is amazing.
And an exciting first quarter from both these sides. Canterbury denied a try right at the end when this man, Gillies, was held up over the line. Robinson trying to get it out of the danger zone. Folks does it. Wayne, what about the feeling from both camps after that opening 20?
I'm sure both camps will be reasonably happy with their performance. Canberra coach Tim Sheens will be a little bit concerned about his lacklustre performance in defence on their right-hand side of the field. Canterbury have made a few breaks out there. He had a word actually to Mal Meninga and Laurie Daly about adjusting in defence. Canterbury, on the other hand, I think that they've got to be pleased with the speed of this game. Their quick play the balls are catching Canberra out on in and around the edge of the rucks.
The Raiders go wide. Daly, Meninga. Taken by Patmore low. Daly backs around. He beats the tackle of Doolan, but great cover from second rower Darren Smith. Corvo. The Bulldogs only just have the overall possession. Gale. Boyle over the top, but that pass is straight into the hands of Robinson. Never really looked. And the Bulldogs just have it as far as the opposition half is concerned as well. Maguire plays it back. Penalty. As Maguire played it, the Raiders were still all over him.
Lotto replay shows the advantage of getting to your feet quickly to play the ball. It then forces the referee to make a decision if there are opposition players still hanging around.
As he played it, they pulled him down. The Bulldogs get to 12 metres away. Newton setting up a planned move here for Canterbury. Tronk switching up the middle. Gillies, the referee, got in the road. The only man on the field that didn't read it was Eddie Ward.
You can see here Eddie Ward hasn't been at training. He missed his assignment and dropped it.
Now Canterbury, they come up because they have the feed. McGrady gets away from Boyle. Back for Doolan. And Boyle gets across to wrap him up. The dummy from Brown, they get across the line again, but they roll him over and hold him up. Now they thought about their defence. There was so many of them there. They said, well, let's confidently take him in the end goal and turn him over.
Canterbury have been threatening for a while, and here they get the ball over the try line, but they're able to pin the ball to the player's chest, and he can't get it down and ground it.
Twice they get across, and twice they're denied. Canterbury screwing the scrum. The Raiders trap it in there, trying to get the penalty from the forwards breaking. The ball comes out, and Kevin Moore really tries to take on Eddie Ward. Now, Steve Folkes is asking for an explanation about these scrums.
What they'll be saying here is, when is the ball out of the scrum? When it's behind the second row is what the rule says. Now that's out of the second row because that's the lock whose foot it's in front of. Kevin Moore saying, I'm within my rights to do that.
So they're trying to introduce rugby union to rugby league. Talking about doing just that. From everybody at 10 Sport to Alan Jones, who would be looking on tonight. Alan, we wish you all the best to overcome that back injury and get you back on deck with the Balmain Tigers. 4-2 those penalties to Canberra.
The bulk change getting ready on the sideline for Canberra, and they're no slouches, the four that are coming on.
Beef. All on deck and just waiting for the call. Walters. Last tackle. Daly kicking back across from the opposite side. Robinson. Taken by Bell, who's gotten out there very quickly, and another penalty. Leave the man alone in the play of the ball, they're told.
Another penalty in the play of the ball. This isn't to Canberra's advantage. Canberra like a game where the game flows and they get the ball kicked to them, they can run it back from kicks and so on. A game that's slow would suit Canterbury.
Well, a game that really shouldn't slow at all. Will Canterbury make that fatal mistake of not finding touch? We're about to get 6 tackles. Now they hand it over. Gale stepping and getting through. Taken by Darren Smith. And with the freshmen out there, new lease of life, David Woods. Gale, run around with Todd back up the middle as Coyne. Daly looking for some runners. He finds Matt Wood. Matt Wood just goes. He gets to McGrady. Do they hold him up? Yes, they do. 3 times we've had the line crossed tonight, but for no points. You want to talk about desperate defence? Canterbury are equal to the task.
Canberra did everything right here. They made the break. Wood had made the bust. I thought possibly he could have passed, but Ewan McGrady take a bow. He was the one that was able to tie the ball up.
3 Canterbury men there. McGrady just on his haunches in the in goal. Against the feed. Can they hang on once more? This is where it's difficult against a side as good as this. Daly, quickly. They go wide. Meninga back infield. They lose it. So the Canterbury defence does get there. And a mistake from the Raiders. A little bit of frustration from them. Martin put it down.
Daly's continually tried to create something by working on the outside. He gave the ball to Meninga there. Meninga brought Martin back on an angle. But Canterbury have hung on pretty well. They'll be looking for a gasp of air about now, but
they've got to do some hard work.
When you lose a scrum against the head like they did a minute or two ago, it is a sign of tiredness starting to set in.
Gillies plays it. Seven and a half minutes gone in this second quarter. 4-0 to the Raiders. Moore, Brown. Lost a lot of names, a lot of big names, Canterbury. But that terrific win over Manly.
I think some of these players have grasped the opportunity, to be honest.
They've been near to scoring. More than near. They've been across the line twice. Beath with a dummy. Taken by Folks. He was tackled, said Eddie Ward.
When is a tackle a tackle?
Just then. 5-4, the handling errors. Todd. Walters. Carey. Gale. Who wants to go forward? Coyne. Does his best to. Daly. The man most likely so far to create something. Off the leg of Carey into the hands of Polamatta. So maybe a little bit of frustration causing some errors, Wayne.
I don't know if it's so much frustration. It's just that they're not being given any room to move. Canterbury bustling Canberra at the moment, and Canberra aren't really liking it. It's not that they're frustrated, they're just being forced into errors.
Lowry, running caution there from Ward. Back to the play. I wonder if there was anything in this incident. No, it's not. Didn't see much to it. Maguire. Moore. Brown. Well, every time they've come down here, they've looked dangerous. Kyle White out there. Midfield. But they don't really line up this side of the ruck. They set all their attack on the left. Brown quickly for Patmore. Patmore taken, and a ball that probably didn't need to be thrown. It was thrown at the feet of Jason Smith. That's new. Gale to Daly and Meninga. Look out. Bumps Jason Smith out of the road. Blindside Gale. Beath is taken by Durlan and Newton. It's a tough one for the defending champs here in the challenge. Lowry. 9 minutes left in this second quarter. Todd. Last tackle. Daly wants it a dummy half. He's going to kick himself. Down to McGrady, who's got a bit of room here to move. Woods there.
He's one of those players, Ewan McGrady. Every time he gets the ball, you just feel yourself start to lift on off the seat in expectation of him doing something.
Brown. He needs a little support.
He has some. Tronk over the top. Here's a chance. Darren Smith. Darren Smith claps it on.
Canberra's right side defence again causing the problem.
Kevin Moore. He takes it to the line. Tries to change direction. But he runs out of room. Only one more tackle. And it's Folks who's going to put it up. And hang it up there for some men and time to get through. It comes astray and Beath has it. And he's going to play the knock on by Canterbury and the handover. That's the main advantage to the Raiders in that situation. 3 defenders showing Canterbury's keenness.
I've been surprised really, and I'd like to get Wayne's feelings on this, how long Canberra have been waiting to kick the ball out of their own quarter or sometimes out of their own half. They seem to be playing out a lot of tackles trying to ruck the ball out when they could do it much easier kicking. Wayne, what are your thoughts?
Well, this man, Scott Gale, has got a big kicking game. Obviously not as strong as Ricky Stewart's, but we saw against Cronulla how well he can kick and how well, in fact, they did kick on that night. Obviously, the breeze has dropped off a lot tonight. Not as strong as it was in Port Macquarie, but they're not utilising the kick at all.
Robinson. Maguire. Maguire was facing the sideline when he played it. Probably should have been penalised. White. 6.5 minutes left in this second quarter. 4-0 to Canberra. Tronk. Showing why he's probably not involved. Each time Canterbury set the kick. Folks trying to show how it should have been done. He just waits it down into the corner. Trying to trap Canberra in that area. Bell. Sticking to a determined plan, Canterbury. They looked to be offside in that play of the ball. This time Ward's got back there quickly with them. Todd. Are they going to go late on the tackle count again? They are. Woods. Daly has come across to the shorter side. Gale has stayed on the open. And Canterbury are going to be caught. 3 markers in that play of the ball. Meters out with this restart. Gale. McGrady. 5 minutes remaining. Penalty to Canterbury. He's going to say to Carey, come back here and play it where you were tackled. He took a couple of steps off the mark. Brown will look for the far side of this apex oval here in Dubbo. Newton about 38 metres out. Moore. White to the line. Brought down strongly.
That's a good strong run by White, and their forwards need to do a little bit more of it.
Jason Smith picked it up nicely. Brown, Patmore. Smith. Jason Smith stepping nicely.
Canterbury are lifting with confidence after every play of the ball. They're starting to believe that they can do something in this game.
Maguire back infield for Folks. Last tackle. Kevin Moore kicks it. Knocked down by Canberra. 6 more. No. It wasn't played at by Gale, said Eddie Ward. Kevin Moore tries to say that he stuck his leg out at it.
The Lotto replay will tell he did.
You only get 6 again if the opposition deliberately plays at the ball, and I'm with Kevin Moore on that one.
No doubt about Gale sticking a foot out, but he got away with it. Steve Walters ducks one, but then ducks straight into Newton. 3 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Lowry put down. Gale, now they're going to kick, and kick very deep over the head of Ewan McGrady, breaking towards the sideline, but he'll have time to get there. Straight through 2 defenders, and then taken by Daly. Penalty to Canterbury, just where they need it. Not outside that 10 metres from the kicker. It's going to be 10 metres now when that kick's put downfield. Folks, Maguire, right on halfway. Newton, 2 minutes remaining before half-time, 4-0 to Canberra.
This was the stage of the first quarter where Canterbury came at them, and they're setting again.
Kyle White gets it out for Darren Smith. Now Robinson down the sideline. David Woods is there. Good tackle. Robinson tried to get it back. He thought he was headed over the sideline. And a little knock on as he couldn't control it. But they're finding some chances.
What our replay shows Robinson on the fly. He's not the fastest winger in the world, and the cover defence was able to pick him up.
Good cover from Woods, who managed to hang on. As Canberra have a number of times. Beath. Gaffey. Canterbury have it. Look out, Canberra. About 60 seconds. Dispute with the ball. Penalty to Canterbury. You heard my call, said Eddie Ward. The Dogs will have a chance at 2 points. Darren Brown knows that with time almost up, he may as well take a mile of it. Quick chat to Eddie Ward. He says, I'll take my mark here. And there's the angle for him just inside the 22. 3 straight penalties have helped Canterbury. Plenty of supporters here in Dubbo, the famous Western Plains. Quite a setting here tonight at Apex Oval. Been unlucky not to score a couple of tries. But he had his chance at 2 points, and he couldn't come up with it, Darren Brown, so the Raiders will go to half-time. Just with those 2 goals advantage, they lead 4 points to 0. Welcome back to Apex Oval in Dubbo for this quarter-final between Canterbury and Canberra. The players just set themselves. And it's the Raiders. Who turn around now and wait for the call of Eddie Ward. And they're in front 4-0 over Canterbury,
who are putting it right to them, just like they did to Manly.
Gaffey now. Steve Walters. Now he bounced one man away. Not quite sure who it is. I think it might be Gillies, who's still down. Doolan back for the kick. Meninga there quickly, but he beats him. He stands him up, and he gets away down the sideline, taken by Gaffey. It was Tronk who was down, and he's back on his feet now. Maguire. He's not well. He's trying to take some time. His teammates are saying, let us do a little bit of work. They keep it alive. Kevin Moore. Jason Smith getting through. The Raiders falling off tackle.
That's something you don't often see from Canberra. Not only one missed tackle, but a ricochet effect. 3 and 4 missed in the one hit.
McGrady, he ducks one. Kevin Moore. Kevin Moore confidently goes, he walks through. 8 metres away last tackle. And a slow start for the Raiders in this third quarter. McGrady stole the ball at Dundee, brings it out, gets a try. The Raiders have got to wake up. Play's being restarted. They're still enjoying a break. This was really just stolen by Canterbury.
Enjoying a break or gone to sleep. Lotto replay shows that just a fake from McGrady. Once he gets that close to the line, he's never going to miss.
Yeah, what happened here was that the Canberra defence didn't work. Second marker didn't work. Laurie Daly was outstepped, and a lack of urgency led to that Canterbury try.
Well, McGrady stayed up in the front line, but a front line that just shuffled across. Who should have been up the middle? Ewan McGrady said, thank you. Beats was too deep in the in goal. 27 years of age. A council worker. And he got our Lotto man of the match against West. And he's got his side off to a flying start in this third quarter. Meninga is laying down the law. Darren Brown, unsuccessful at his first attempt. He gets the important one now. That gives the Bulldogs a chance at 6-4. The Bulldogs online for a big upset. Chris Anderson, just a little smile. The Canterbury coach really pleased with the way they've started now.
They upset Manly. No one thought they could win it. They came out here today with not a team of no names totally. There's some experience there, but players who are new to first grade, and they're doing the job again.
It's unbelievable the way a kickoff can really be messed up. That went through the hands of Bruce Maguire, and Kyle White, who was in front of him, picked up the dregs in an offside position.
But only messed up if you don't catch the ball on the full. That's the unforgivable part about that.
The Raiders will go back to Matt Wood for another kick. 2 from 3. Wood with a very important one. 4-quarter football, things can just get away from you. It's 15 metres in from the sideline. The angle for him to the post. As all Raiders fans sweat on 2 points. 2 points that won't come their way. Robinson to bring it out of the in goal. Confidently flicked it to Jason Smith. Taken by Gaffey and then dragged over the sideline. Was he tackled? He was. You can't put a man down, then grab him by an arm and drag him with you. There it was. He was dragged as he was already hitting the deck. Folks, restart. Trump.
And Wayne, from up here, it looks like Canterbury growing in confidence as every minute passes.
That's for sure. They're building in stature. There's no doubting that. And in fact, the thing that Chris Anderson pointed out was that he felt that if they could control the ball, they had this game in the bag. And the way it's shaping, that could very well be true.
Beath all wrapped up by Robinson. They're missing some big names like Ricky Stewart, Gary Belcher, Glenn Lazarus, and a man who, as we look at the missed tackles, 12-7 against Canberra. Missed the Kangaroo Tour through injury. He's still out injured. Bradley Clyde, he's joined Wayne Pearce sideline.
Yes, Bradley and I are just comparing knee reconstructions down here. Bradley, how much longer till you be back on the paddock?
Well, I feel confident within the next 6 weeks that I'll probably make a return. I'm back at full pace now. I'm running quite freely during ball work and things like that, and I just oppose the players during training. And there's a little bit of soreness there, but that should go away within 6 weeks.
I bet you wish you're out there on the paddock at the moment because they're really struggling. Need some forward progress.
Yeah, well, the boys, they are struggling a bit. They're finding a bit frustrated because Canterbury are defending quite well and attacking quite well. So we've got to wait for things to fall into place, really.
And finally, an area of concern that I'm sure is worrying not only you but also Tim Sheens, your right side defence. It appears to be falling away.
That's true. They have attacked our right side, but you know, we're trying to scramble as much as we can.
Thanks for talking to us, Brad.
Thanks a lot, mate.
We wish him well as he tries to get back on deck for the Raiders as they scramble back here now to the 22. Walters looks for Gale and his back line. Daly, the defence up extra quick. And Daly is taken by Jason Smith, who's been impressive since he's been out there. Gaffey now.
They've done a good job on Daly so far, but they won't want to forget him.
Last tackle. One more to think about him. He unloads though to Gale. Meninga brings in Beath. Darren Smith across Martin. Martin's taken, but just can't beat the tackle of McGrady. There's been some extra good cover defence in this match from both teams. And it had to be saved there again.
I've always had a bit of a question mark on McGrady's defence, but he's done well so far tonight. He's had a couple of important tackles to make, and he's made them.
8 minutes gone in this third quarter. And Canterbury have it by 2 points. Tronk. Tronk was held when he was trying to double up there and support. He was held without the ball by Coyne. Much needed penalty comes Canterbury's way.
Eddie Ward, the referee's had a good game. He hasn't missed much at all, and he recognises here on our Lotto replay that Tronk was kept totally out of that by Coyne.
Tronk looked to be unsided, and I don't think realised that Coyne realised that Tronk unloaded the ball. He's saying he's got it straight from the referee now. Brown. The kick that will get them down into the Canberra half. Folks. Newton. 42 tackles in the opposition's half, Canterbury. Not often you end up winning that score, that statistic against Canberra. Moore. Dummies once. Not taken by Barnhill. Trump. Showed it. Now loses it to Gale. Taken by Corvo as he brings it away now.
You can criticise Tronk for losing the ball, but not for what he was trying to do. He was just trying to put someone into that hole behind the play the ball area.
Difficult one to try and get your hands over the top of a guy like Meninga. Gaffey will have no marker. Gets about 7 or 8 extra metres. 10 metres now. 10 minutes, I should say, gone in this third quarter. Last tackle, Meninga. They're going to run it. Daly out to Boyle, who puts it down. And it's back up near halfway for the handover. Touch judge in as we get another replacement. They tried to catch them out wide, and there was a perfect gap there for Boyle, and a good pass too that he put down.
He took his eye off the ball. That was the problem.
Kevin Moore will play it.
The Canterbury backs so far have done a great job in defence. They've kept coming up. They've been harassing the Canberra backs, who we know have got plenty of pace, plenty of class, but they've got to persist in it. It's something they just can't knock up on doing. They've got to keep doing it for the full 80 minutes.
Folks. Darren Smith on the fringe. Nearly got through there. Jason Smith, the dummy half. Here's the call from Kevin Moore.
It's a long time since I've seen Canberra miss this many tackles.
Tronk, here's it. Great chance. Men outside. Tronk will go himself. Well, now he gets it out. It's too late. He had 4 and 5 men outside. What an opportunity for Canterbury. They still might do it. 1 to go. A ricochet ends up in the arms of Daly, and Daly busts 3 defenders and nearly gets back to the 22. What a missed chance.
Had to be a try, didn't it? You know, Tronk did all of the hard work. He'd spread eagle them. He'd look for support, but he gave the pass just too late.
Todd. Head clash there between Jason Smith and Folks.
I was saying, Wayne, I don't think I've seen for a long time, and I'm going back halfway through last year, Canberra missing so much defence.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint the reason for that. Obviously, there's some complacency problems, but they're dropping off in their numbers 2 and 3 at a time, and there's definitely no talk out there. I don't know whether that's a contributing factor or not, but it's certainly present, and it's something that they've got to try and rectify.
Gale will take this kick from the penalty. Steve Folks replaced. Canberra. Got to do something here. Walters. Gale with runners on the inside. Woods.
If you're looking for the man from Canberra who's made the most effort, I still think it's Laurie Daly.
Todd. 7 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Meninga very wide. Run around with Gale. Now, how high was the tackle?
It was Maguire. We can see there, he just threw out an arm. Gale had beaten him, and it was desperation time.
No real swinging arm. He just hung it out for us, Maguire, but it copped him across the chin. He doubles around Meninga. He hangs it out. Scotty Gale was quickly to his feet, and he's going to take this kick.
Scott had a crew cut. He wouldn't have got him.
Just outside the 22. And they really need something. They just about produce. Woods. That's the trademark of a great side, and the great side that they've been the last couple of seasons. Todd. 9-8 those penalties to the Dogs. Meninga tries it again, this time on the inside for Barnhill. Walters gets it to Lowry. Coyne. Support inside from Woods. He was tackled without the ball. Last tackle now. Barnhill for Gale. Gale to the in goal. Doolan's there with McGrady. They'll let it go dead. And they survive this situation, and they still have the lead, Canterbury. It's 6-4, Canterbury over Canberra as they come back to the 22 with just 5 minutes left in this vital third quarter that has produced a try for Canterbury to get in front. Tronk. Tronk injured, but is trying to get up to play it. Darren Smith. Tronk's gone back down. Brown charged down. Who can regather here? Coyne can. So not a clean kick from Canterbury. Back comes the green machine. Barnhill. Bell.
You still have the feeling that a lot of the Canberra players are waiting for someone to do something.
Missing so many gun players.
I don't think Laurie Daly or Mal Meninga will wait too much longer.
They try and link up here. Meninga with the floater. Touched and touched forward. Said Eddie Ward. By Matt Wood.
The idea was right here. The pass over top had Wood in a little bit of space, but the ball doesn't have to be knocked on far to force the scrum.
Kevin Moore for Jason Smith. Brown to McGrady. They knock it on. Well, Canterbury are doing their best to say here to Canberra, try and get back the lead. So all they're doing is giving them back the ball.
Giving them back the ball when they've got chances to do something also. McGrady had a little bit of an opportunity there. He had a gap.
Canterbury offside from the scrum out wide in the backs. And you try and get a little bit too greedy when you're marking big men like Meninga and Daly out wide. You want to get up there quickly. Laurie Daly, an eye on the clock. Gale uses up Woods. Tries to get clear of the tackle. Troy Castle. Todd will get it to about 13 metres away from the line and in front of the posts. They switch it to Gale. He switches it up the middle to Meninga. Meninga busted one, hands it back to Steve Walters. Steve Walters showed it, dummy, tried to get through. 9 metres away. Lowry, very long pass to Gale. Gale back to Woods. The defence holds. It was excellent defence against Manly. And it's been shown to be good again tonight. Daly. Extra man Woods. Woods will have Carey. But the ball goes astray. And the overlap comes undone just when they worked it properly.
They had done everything right here. They created the overlap. Woods had a man on the outside, but he couldn't find him with the pass. That was simple, basic stuff.
Woods never looked to Carey, who he was supposed to pass the ball to, but at the same time, Carey looked to be up too far and putting pressure on the man who was passing. So Canterbury survived just when the try should have been scored by the Raiders.
Is it Canterbury's night?
You must ask that question. With just over a minute left in this third quarter. Gillies, do they make the same mistake here, Canterbury? Every time they've brought it back, they've knocked on. Castle, he was going to pass and he thought better of it. Darren Smith. Big third quarter for the Bulldogs. Kevin Moore. (6-4) to Canterbury. Maguire gets it back for Kyle White. He hands it off to Darren Brown. He throws the dummy and straightens. Last tackle now. McGrady. Field goal. McGrady as cool as you please. They're going ahead by one more. McGrady knew the defence wasn't rushing up, so he just took his time to put it down the middle. And there's the hooter.
It's hard to get 1 point when you're desperate to get it, so McGrady decides to snap one right at the end of the third quarter.
Perfectly taken by McGrady. And the Bulldogs will go to the fourth and final quarter with that lead of 3, 7-4 over Canberra. Welcome back. The Lotto Challenge, Canterbury versus Canberra, and the Raiders are missing some big names tonight. Glenn Lazarus, who you can see there along with Ricky Stewart. You often see some good things done in the country, don't you, when rugby league starts to travel. Bradley Clyde also there with a young man. They've made his night tonight, recovering from an illness. Great to see the Stars take time out here in Dubbo. And the Raiders are missing those three. They're behind 7-4 as Canterbury now have just 20 minutes left to protect that lead and jump into the semi-finals of the Lotto Challenge. The Raiders will be trying to storm home. Canterbury put it deep down to Carey. He's taken by Robinson. Wayne Pearce, I watched you go over to the huddle. The Canberra players listening to Tim Sheens. He was laying down the law.
He was actually. He spoke to several individual players, but as a team he wanted the backs to see a lot more of the ball. He felt that Daly and Meninga, when they've had opportunities, have penetrated. He wants them to see more of the ball. And Chris Anderson, on the other hand, he wants to play the entire game down in Canberra's area. He felt that they've got enough of a breeze behind their backs to use it and play the game down in Canberra's territory.
They get it back now to Lowry. What's your feeling? Do the Raiders get out of this one?
Well, I mean, if the green machine has got 5 gears, they're running in about 3rd gear at the moment, and they're struggling to find the clutch. They can't seem to switch up a bit, and things like that, juggling a ball when you're trying to clear a kick doesn't help.
Daly does exceptionally well to get his boot to it. McGrady slips as he tries to beat Carey.
Different club, but he's taken over right where John Ferguson left off.
Jared McCracken gets out of dummy half, and it was only at 7 a.m. this morning that this young man got a clearance from the New Zealand Rugby League to be available to play tonight. McCracken has had to wait now till late in the game. Maguire looking for runners. Very nearly got through and then linked up out wide. McGrady, short ball. Castle, he's got Kevin Moore inside. He's got support on the outside. He didn't go to either. They did have men on them. It was a tough call. He decided to hang on. Last tackle. Do they get it here? McGrady flicks it. Picked up by Gillies. Gillies for the line back infield. Kevin Moore, now he's got it. It comes astray and the Raiders, I think, have it. How close was that? With support inside and out. It was a tough one, as I said, Bill.
Ewan McGrady couldn't have been asked to do any more. It was a beautiful ball that put through the first break, and here he got one away for a second break. Canterbury, oh so close, but oh so far.
Coyne. Gale, good quick hands, Daly. Here's the danger man. Daly gets it out. But I thought it was Martin. It's David Boyle that has taken over the sideline. So the Raiders were on the break after a scare down at their own line.
Lotto replay shows the sort of thing they can do. Laurie Daly made the break and they hit down that left-hand edge of the field. They can turn defence back into attack.
From the scrum, Jason Smith, just on halfway. Gillies. Newton. It's the Raiders with their backs to the wall. The defending challenge champions. And they're behind. And we're down to the final quarter. Gillies. And it's Canterbury looking for another try.
Canterbury is showing a lot of character, Graham. Each and every time that they have something fall apart, they keep hitting back for a second go.
Darren Smith! Darren Smith! Darren Smith all the way! No! Great defence. A half a metre away. I thought he was going to get there. Kevin Moore to the in goal. Meninga's there. He's going to try and get out of there. Folks has got him. Darren Brown's there. They haven't got him. Look at this for determination. He's showing the way to his side, saying, let's get home and hang on to this title.
No one else could get out of there. It was that human bulldozer, Mal Meninga, the only man in rugby league that could have gone 10 metres with 4 players clinging to him.
Incredible that he got out of there and kept them alive with the ball. Bell.
That was a big play. That was the play of the day. They were under all sorts of siege there, Canberra. They had to come up with the ball.
The big thing was that they may not have survived another 6 tackles. Penalty that will help. Gale takes a quick tap. The Bulldogs had their backs turned and he steps through. Taken by Moore. It's a matter of urgency for the Raiders. A matter of urgency because the scoreboard is all wrong for them. It's Canterbury 7-4. Coyne, they're lifting their rate now. They survived what could have been a couple of Canterbury tries. Meninga and Daly looking to do more. Daly gets it back. Martin. It went behind him. Now Carey. Carey taken by McCracken. Really coming alive this last quarter. Gale scoops it up for Coyne. Coyne's finished off on the 22 and it's the last tackle. Meninga wants it. A little kick ahead. Meninga and McGrady. It favours Ewan McGrady. Meninga went left. McGrady went right and it stayed for the Canterbury side.
How would you like to see Mal Meninga coming at you? The little chip over the top, but McGrady fell down. Brave effort.
The bounce of the ball stayed with the Bulldogs as Meninga grabs a breather. But a mistake from Canterbury will put them under enormous pressure here. Now, a valuable member of the side, Kevin Moore, can't continue. It puts Polomata at halfback.
That is a big loss.
He's the man that's their direction finder. Now, Gale steps inside Polomata. Martin pushes Polomata off, trying to get it started quickly. Coyne 10 metres away from the Canterbury line, throwing everything into it now. Todd, Meninga up the middle, taken by Maguire. Took him well, ball and all. Lowry, just through the forwards. The back line is very deep to the left. They switch it for Meninga and Gale. Todd trying to keep it alive. Last tackle. The backs haven't seen it in this set of 6 so far. Gale again goes the blind side to the in goal. Put dead. So the back line was starved for a full set of 6.
Gale put through the little kick here, but the support would have come up with a try here. Canterbury needed to rescue that.
So Gale insisted that they stay on the short side. I guess the backs would have been screaming, Wayne.
Most definitely there. They haven't seen all that much of the ball in the last 40 minutes. I mean, when opportunities go begging like that, they'd be biting their nails.
Now, was that knocked on? I thought it was from Matt Wood. He wasn't facing the Canterbury line, but I thought he dragged it around. Boyle plays it. Bit of possession here for Canberra. Trying to make it count. $200,000 to the champs of the Lotto Challenge in 91. And the 90 title holders, the Raiders, are behind on the board. 7-4. They're trying to get the try that will give them the lead. Gale trying everything. Woods up the middle.
They're brewing up to something. Canterbury need the ball.
Daly puts it on. Daly will get there himself. It had to be Daly or Meninga, and they get the try. The Raiders, they're back in front.
They've waited a long time for this. The Lotto replay shows that so many occasions in the past, we've just seen Laurie Daly pull out a brilliant individual effort like that to get them out of trouble.
Well, the Raiders have finally shifted into 4th gear. You can't afford to have front rowers like Mitch Newton trying to mark Laurie Daly, because that's what happens. Tries are scored.
He stood him up. He knew there was going to be no danger here with pace. And look at the gap there. McCracken had to come in on him earlier. And Polomata was a little late on arriving there, and it was too close to the line on a big man like this. Just 21 years of age on our Lotto player profile. Australian rep. And what a player he's going to be with so much time left in the game. Matt Wood. 2 from 4. 10 minutes remaining. It can be a long time. And Kevin Moore, after some minor repairs, is back out there. Might be Canterbury now who are left to rue some chances that they had to score.
Held up twice, 2 clean breaks. Tries would have been at the end of them and the passes didn't come.
The Raiders were held up once themselves. Low-scoring game. Wood, excellent kick to give them a little breathing space. So the Raiders now. Kevin Moore's up there driving them forward. White. And nobody outside. He pushes it back for Castle. Castle gets it back for Folks. Folks looking up the middle for McGrady to step. McGrady back for Kevin Moore. A lot of football left in this quarter-final here in Dubbo.
That's good play. They're still in this.
Maguire threw it forward. I thought there was a forward pass in that, I was sure. Darren Brown to the corner. Meninga gets there. 10 metres out as the Bulldogs try and bite back. Brown touched it. Moore's got it. Last tackle. Just one more for Canterbury to try their arm. Maguire. Maguire with the kick. I think it's too deep. It is. It beats them all. And back to the 22.
Bruce Maguire's kicking game is something we don't see a lot of, and here you can see why. The kick was something that had to be done, but Bruce wasn't in the position to do it.
They needed at least just into the in goal and stay there. Try and trap them. 6.5 minutes left here. And Canberra have finally got their nose in front. 10-7. Coyne, he's got support from Gale. Gale in, passes to Bart Bell, and he's taken on the halfway line. Coyne. The handling errors against Canterbury. Steve Walters. Last tackle. Gale. Trap. Knocked down, taken by Kevin Moore. McCracken. Timmy Sheens, the Canberra coach, anxious sideline. Maguire now bringing it up. Moore. Castle. Castle just over the halfway line. Inside the last 5 minutes. Robinson. McGrady. McGrady. Sits it up now for Doolan. Doolan steps. They go down to the last tackle. Switching the play. Folks. He gets another kick in. Behind Bell, McGrady's got it. 6 more tackles. Here is danger. Here is real danger. Can Canterbury keep their cool and set themselves? Tronk. He takes one. They urge another forward up. Kevin Moore doing plenty of talking out wide. Darren Smith. Darren Smith gets it back for Kyle White. The defence was dragged in. There's 3 and 4 Canberra men down at the moment in front of the goal mouth. Kevin Moore dancing around. Kevin Moore out wide with a chance. Jason Smith back for Kevin Moore. He dummies. He stands, still going, ducking. weaving. They can't put him down. They finally do. It's 10-7 Canberra. Not much time left. Maguire dummies. Right in front of the post. One more tackle. 3.5 minutes left in this quarter-final, where Canberra are hanging on. Tronk dummies. He dummied to McGrady. Keeps it going for Folks, who was through a gap. A good pass, and Folks might have got there. It's a handover. Big money on the line, and the try line's intact.
Not for the want of trying here by Canterbury. Tronk called a runner inside, had Folks in a hole, and the pass went over the shoulder.
They will still have to kick to get out of here or make a break. Nine metres out. Todd. They might have one more shot at it, Canterbury. Tremendous performance from the Bulldogs, but it shows you the experience and the class of a side like Canberra, who will put off their game a little but can still come back after being behind. Last tackle, Gale. McGrady, is there something special left in this man? Changes direction, taken by Daly. McCracken. 2.5 minutes left. 10-7 to the Raiders. Moore for Maguire. No, it's Castle. He gets it back for Kyle White. Straight down the middle, White to the 22. Less than 2 minutes. Kevin Moore. Tronk gets it out to the corner. Canterbury get it. Oh, they might have done it. Unbelievable scenes here at Dubbo. The Raiders hang their heads. The blue and white flags fly high. And right at the death, the defending champs might be gone.
Lotto replay shows us what rugby league is all about. They kept the ball alive, got the ball out wide to Brown, forces his way over in the corner.
Canterbury looked gone for all money here, but Scott Tronk sights a little gap on the blind side. The Canberra defence didn't move up, and the rest was done by Darren Brown.
Darren Brown lifted everybody out of their seats. Meninga was desperate, but he couldn't get to him. Just too late. Twice they've been held up over the line, and with about a minute and a half to go, Darren Brown gets a try that might sink the favourites out of the Lotto Challenge. Chris Anderson is down from the stand, smiling. Maybe he knows the time is nearly up. Meninga, ropeable that they got their nose in front. About 45 seconds, and Meninga said, how could we let that slip? Tremendous performance by Canterbury. Twice they've come from behind. Tronk has made some good busts for them, and Brown finished it off superbly. Dubbo. Is Dubbo the scene of the biggest upset so far in 1991? 1 point gets you home, and Canterbury have it 11-10 with about 10 seconds, we feel, left on the clock. They will have to try the short kick. They try a short kick. Canterbury will have it. Troy Castle. Tronk. We make it time up. There it is. You have witnessed the big one, the big upset in the Lotto Challenge. And Canterbury have done it again. They disposed of Manly. Now Chris Anderson's coach Bulldogs celebrate, and they wave goodbye to the Canberra Raiders. Tremendous game here in Dubbo, full of character and courage. 11 points to 10 to Canterbury. McGrady and Brown the tries. A goal from Brown, a field goal to McGrady. How important was that field goal? A try to Daly, 3 goals to Wood. and the Bulldogs get home in a big upset. We'll be back with a Lotto Man of the Match right after this.
Gee, it's hard to give a Man of the Match award when it's as close as that, but Kevin Moore was our choice. Kevin, congratulations. I thought you had a superb game, but you had a lot of mates.
Yeah, that's for sure. It was the sort of game that everyone had to put the work in, especially against Canberra. They're such a good side. We knew they'd come back as soon as we hit the lead, and could have gone to any number of blokes, I imagine.
What was going through your mind when Canberra did get their nose in front? Did you think you were still in it?
Yeah, we were in it all the way. Like, we were making plenty of breaks. We should have scored quite a few more tries. I think just because we've got such a new team, the combination's not there, and the last pass went to ground, but we knew that if we held for 6 tackles, we were a good chance of scoring. Congratulations again, $1,000 from Lotto, and I know that won't go astray. No, that's for sure. I'd like to thank Lotto and Channel 10, and I'd also like to say a special thank you to my employers at Brambles Transport for the time off. It's appreciated. There he is, Graham, Kevin Moore, and he had a superb game, didn't he? He certainly earned his money.
But here at Apex Oval in Dubbo, it's going to be Canterbury and Canberra up first tonight. And there's a big crowd expected here. Dubbo, a city of over 34,000, and a city that is placed beautifully on the western plains of New South Wales.